Hello, guys. Welcome back to Tweedle Time. Yo, it's my host, Andrew.
And I'm the other host, James.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Also known as we missed last week. We were going to have one, and then we didn't because...
Someone didn't tell me to study.
Someone didn't study when I told them
Someone
to.
didn't tell me to study. No, you didn't.
You forgot.
No, I never forget anything.
Well, basically, because... Today, we're doing the Crusades. Now, if I remember correctly, we did the fourth Crusade by itself. Yep. The fall of Constantinople, because it's garbage. And I don't feel like talking about it again, so we're not going to.
We're going to shamelessly plug our video for that one.
So we're going to talk about 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to talk about. And speaking of Crusades... We may have made a new channel.
Oh my gosh, we're shamelessly plugging 2 things already?
To be fair, no one's going to forget our second channel unless we actually plug it once.
I think we're going to have to plug it a couple of times.
Yeah, no. Basically, we decided that this is our podcast channel. We might as well keep it that. We're also probably going to bring a few new segments to Tweedle Time. Like, I'm planning to bring the Tweedle Times, the new news segment. We're gonna do one, at least.
Sounds good to me.
We're also probably going to make a new segment called... Dumb debates and discussions. We either debate or discuss something stupid for the sake of it.
And we're probably going to be bringing in a lot of guest stars for that one, just so we have more opinions to yell at.
Like, think about something stupid and times it by 10, and that's what we'll be discussing.
Oh, yes.
And maybe, I don't know which channel I'm going to bring this on, but I'm planning to make a new segment where we're going to go through the history of a country.
Cool. Well, still sounds like
Or flags.
That sounds like Tweedle Time.
It might be Tweedle Time. It might be Casual Crusaders. We'll find out.
Casual Crusaders is more ridiculous stuff.
But basically, our Casual Crusaders channel, for a kid-friendly term for it, we're just doing a channel where we put stuff we obviously wouldn't put in the main channel just because it's not appropriate for this channel. It feels like, because this channel feels like more educational.
Yeah.
Slash
the other one is not.
Like the other one's gonna be like purely just like slightly like a mix of comedy and just fun.
Yeah, makes sense.
You'll probably still get some learning just because of our personalities.
Just because of what we go over as well.
Yeah, considering the fact that we did literally on our Casual Crusaders first video, which will be coming out, or has come out, will be our tier list on every empire. Well, I can't say every empire, but pretty sure almost the vast majority of empires in world history. I made an official tier list, which I'll probably link down on the Casual Crusaders.
Oh boy, jumping on the tier list bandwagon after it's already left.
Yep. To be fair, at least I made mine from scratch.
You did make yours from scratch, so it has.
Because I looked at it. What was the popular one? Oh, look, it's missing like everything. It had like 20, maybe 30 empires on there.
That is disappointing.
And then I was like, nah, man. There was like, I can think of 85 to put on there.
This is immensely disappointing. I'll do it.
So I did it. Heck, I technically could have divided, like, for example, the Tamil Kings and Prussia into 2 separate ones, but I felt like it wasn't really necessary.
Yeah, that's true.
But basically, Byzantines.
Byzantines. They're literally the greatest.
I'm sorry for spoiling that.
Yeah.
But then again, I feel like if you watched enough of our podcast episodes, you should have known that.
Yeah, we like the Byzantines.
But basically, after that 3.5 minutes of shamelessly plugging that,
yeah,
Crusade.
Man. You gotta love the
shameless basically, that's what you can think of the Crusades as diminishing returns in a sense.
Yeah, they were
not quite, because the first one was amazing. Second one needs some work, to leave it at lightly.
Yeah.
Third one, pretty freaking motivated, but didn't really get us anywhere, really, because the freaking guy in Egypt was a god when it came to military.
Yeah, it was a real shame.
Like, honestly, had it not been him, it probably would have. Also, then afterwards, he kind of died, and then the Fourth Crusade probably would have worked. You know, if they didn't sack Constantinople instead.
Yeah, if they didn't completely fail at getting to the Holy Land. Shame.
Basically, yeah, no, and then, what's I going to say? The Fourth Crusade, yeah, once again, no.
Yeah, sad.
Fifth Crusade, they tried.
They tried so hard.
And they got nowhere. The Sixth Crusade, Art of the Deal, is what I'm going to summarize it as.
Yeah, the Art of the Deal.
Seventh Crusade, 8, 9.
Everything after, like, the 6th was just terrible.
Yeah. You're actually leaving off at 6.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about very minor amounts about the other 3. And it was a good start with the, believe it or not, the First Crusade.
Yeah. Well, we're starting off at the first. That's crazy stuff.
I'm not from at the ninth. Just kidding. Because I'm not doing that to myself.
Smooth moves.
So basically, First Crusade goes back to something called the Seljuk Turks.
Oh, yes.
Now, the Seljuk Turks, garbage. They decided that, you know what, we should just keep conquering because they just think they came from the steppes thinking to themselves, you know, I feel like I want a new home just because I can.
I feel like I want more land.
And then they decided to go all the way to Anatolia and be like, can we make this our new home and say screw whoever lives in the Byzantines? Were like, could you not?
Please?
And then we're like, how about I do
Anyway.
And, you know, it was kind of irritating. And they did it anyways.
Yeah.
And then the Byzantines were like, yo, Pope. And this is not the first time. This is far from the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yo, Pope, can you, like, you know, help us out maybe against these whole Muslims, you know?
Wait, which Pope?
Like, it was just a lot of the, like, pretty much every Pope. He's like, even the Muslims were...
No, which Pope was the one that he asked?
Urban II was the one that, which one actually said yes, which we'll get to in a minute. The ones that you've asked first, I think it goes back to the Muslim conquest of, where basically the, whatever it was called, the one that Muhammad, the Caliphate, was hers than our
Trash.
Basically, once that conquered like half of the freaking Byzantines, they were like, "Yo, Western Europe, you wanna, you know, protect Christendom?" And the Pope were like, and then everyone in Europe was like, "I don't think I care."
Yeah, real shame.
And it's like, but they took Jerusalem, and then as they thought about it, and then after a good while.
After a good little while.
It took them, like, you know, I'd say about 300 to 400 years. But they eventually realized, yeah, I kind of want Jerusalem back. But the thing is, the reason why they didn't react recently is because the Muslims, at least, didn't harass Christians going to the Holy Land.
Yeah.
Because they were like, that's pretty profitable.
I mean, they're not doing nothing.
They're bringing money.
Yeah, it's good stuff, I guess.
And then the Seljuks were like, can we extort money out of these people?
Maybe just rough them up a little.
Maybe just, like, steal all of the money and make them, you know, maybe they don't go to the Holy Land.
And so...
And then they realized, oh, no, they don't like that. That was a bad idea.
That's not good.
And then the Europeans were like, yo, Byzantines, they're like, yo, can we, like, you know, get our land back? And the Pope was like, I got an idea. Goes to freaking France, like a baller, and is like, yo, man. It was like part of what everyone's saying. It's like, what? I got this idea, guys. What if? Right? So you see, the thing is, these stupid guys known as the Seljuks, they're kind of like taking too much land from the Byzantines.
Yeah.
And you're asking yourself, why do we care about the Byzantines? Well, they're fellow Christians, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
And here's the thing. They also have Jerusalem, which is under threat by these darn Muslims.
Unbelievable.
They're doing, like, Muslim things such as not being Christian.
They're doing Muslim things.
Like, not being Christian, which we all know is sacrilegious.
Heresy.
Which is technically true, I guess.
They're all heretics and infidels.
And it extend now, I don't understand, all of you guys are warriors, which means you're doing a lot of killing, which is not very godlike.
Yes.
But what if I told you I can make you use that killing in a really productive way?
Yeah, you'll get into heaven by killing all these people who are not
Kill
Christians.
the infidels.
Yeah, and then you
give us and take back Jerusalem, which is the holiest site in the world. So you want to go to that really holy site, guys.
Yeah.
And then in exchange, you can get into heaven for free. Wow. It's like a small price to pay for salvation. And then everyone thought.
And then the French king said, "You know what? No, I'm not doing that."
Yeah, because most of the nobility didn't actually care, except for the guy in Norway for some reason cared.
Except for a couple of guys, there were like 5 princes.
I think Godfrey was like the guy. Was really important. He's important for later.
It was Godfrey, Baldwin,
yeah,
Bohemond.
Was it was the hermit? Someone the hermit from France was like a really popular priest.
Oh, that was like Peter the Hermit.
Yeah,
or something
and then he was
that.
like a really popular, priest, and then he died.
He was a terrible person.
Yeah,
though.
He lived to make it to Anatolia, and got like a large people of like untrained soldiers that the proceeded to die. He's not very important.
No, but on their way there, they went through Germany and started like killing all of the Jews.
And then also that they just never mind. The Pope was like, "Don't do that, please."
And then they did anyway.
And then they went through inside to pillage Hungary for more food because they were under supply. And then they attacked some of the Byzantine cities because they also needed more supplies. And the Byzantines like, go on the front lines, let's go.
Just get out, please.
No, we're done. And then they proceeded to die because they weren't very nice.
Yeah, I imagine.
But anyways, continuing on, eventually a bunch of all guys heard around Europe. Actually, a lot of the French nobility did care. It's just the king didn't.
It was a bit of French nobility. It was a good bit of French nobility.
Good amount. Like, for some reason, the guy from the king of Norway decided, actually, you know, it sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
he did that. It was a really odd. It was called the Northern Crusade. It was really weird. He decided he went through all the way to Iberia.
Yeah.
Did some pillaging there. Some of the Muslims was like, yeah, that's pretty nice of you. Went through. Eventually made it to the Byzantine Empire and into Constantinople. I think he may have pillaged maybe one of the Byzantine cities, which is not very nice of them.
That's not very nice.
But then he went to the Holy Land. Almost everything was done by then. He went back, and then the Pope was like, "Yo, this guy's cool. Make this guy awesome."
Look at him. He went all the way to the Holy Land.
And then he also gave the ships to the Byzantines, so I'll give him a pass.
Oh yeah.
He just went all the way up from Russia, which is pretty neat of him. Basically, the guy from Norway, he was neat, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he was okay.
But basically, other than side of that, the First Crusade, best way, it's going to actually start in the actual process of it. So basically, after all, Pope started Deus Vult spamming, because basically, the crowd was cheering Deus Vult by the end of it.
Oh yeah.
Deus Vult. Deus Vult.
Deus Vult infidels.
Yes. Deus Vult just for Latin for God wills it, by the way.
Yes.
And infidel is not actually Latin. It's because I don't know the Latin word for infidel.
Infidels is just they're bad people that don't believe in what we believe in, so clearly we must kill them.
Yep. So afterwards, the Crusaders would go through. They got to eventually. Basically, the Byzantine Emperor was expecting a small amount of European mercenaries, which is reasonable because in fact they didn't actually send anything any time.
Yeah.
So and then you seen this large armies, I feel mildly uncomfortable.
Yeah. Then an army of 100,000 soldiers came down. He's like, ooh.
And it's I'm just gonna push you go over quickly. Swear freaking loyalty to me. Swear that I'll give you Byzantine support, and promise you will not take any of the former Byzantine lands.
And they said, okay. And
all but except for this one guy agreed. That actually followed through with. Everyone agreed, but this one guy didn't follow through, which we'll get back to in a minute.
Bohemond.
The guy that basically decided was Akrativ or something like that. It was it's an A.
Elmar?
No. Akatine or something. I had the pronunciation. I never can forget it. Because it was basically one of the Crusader states. There's 4 Crusader states. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Basically, they always had...
Wait, this is one of the Crusader states?
Yeah.
Antioch.
Antioch, that's what it was.
Yeah, Antioch.
Yeah, it was the Principality of Antioch. We'll get to that in a minute.
And they decided, you know what? I think I want more.
So they're explaining we'll kind of end the reason why behind that. It was I guess a mild amount justified, but not completely either.
I wouldn't say so.
We'll explain it in a minute. Basically, they went through the Crusade. The Muslims weren't expecting anything.
No, of course not.
And they got destroyed. And then they felt very, very little resistance in Anatolia, and they were liberating Anatolia pretty effectively. And they eventually made it to more the Levant, the more part where they get to Akron. This is where they actually felt their actual first resistance.
Yeah. And
it was a pretty interesting battle. The problem is the Byzantines heard that the army died. As far as they apparently because of a false report. And the Byzantines, well, I guess we might as well just keep protecting the lands that we still have, even though the Crusaders died. We'll just make sure they can't counterattack us and take all the land back.
Yeah.
So they obviously didn't supply the Crusaders because they didn't know they were alive.
Well, yeah, they thought everyone was dead, so they just kind of...
But then again, they managed... So basically, in the moments when they all thought they were going to die, BAM! They found the freaking... I think it was the nail that pinned Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, we must fight now! And they took the city. At least that's how the story goes, anyways.
Crazy stuff, man.
I mean, Jeebus.
Jeebus saved them.
Yep. Do all know the truth is that the only way to start your own principality is you need this nail that pierced Jeebus.
You need the Jeebus nail.
But anyways, yes, the whole Jesus relic thing, really helped their spirits, and they won.
Cool beans.
The problem is that the Byzantines gave them support because they were dead. The guys were like, just because the Byzantines didn't support us because they were supposed to, I'm just gonna take this land for myself.
That's not very nice.
And it's like, yo, could you just not?
They said, yo, could you have supported us in the battle?
Yeah. So basically, the guy's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And also, I forgot, before this, actually, what happened was, this guy, eventually we're going through Anatolia. This guy, the Armenians there, were basically around the area of Anatolia, right south of Anatolia. Used to be very much Armenian until the Ottomans did something.
Nobody likes the Ottomans.
Basically, they decided to make the Prawn one of the Crusader, main Crusader leaders, the county of, was it again?
I have them written down. It's Edessa.
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 It's just, yeah, I think it was I don't remember. I don't think that's the pronunciation of it, but
What? It's spelled Edessa.
yeah, no, it's pronounced weird.
Edessa.
Because Armenians, Edessa. That's what it was. Edessa.
Oh, Edessa.
Yes. So basically, yeah, Edessa. They kind of to make him basically a king of that area because he kind of liberated them, and then the Armenians are pretty happy with them. Armenians are like, thank you. It's like, thank you, Armenians. I promise to protect you. We'll get back on that one.
Lasted.
But anyways, and then we eventually establish one more. There'll be one more crusade established, the Tripolitania, the Principality from Tripolitania. That one was
Tripoli.
Tripoli.
Yeah,
basically
Tripoli.
that wasn't very important. That one wasn't as important. Basically, they continue conquering to the Levant, and this is where things get complicated because to this point, the Egyptians, the Mamelukes,
Jerusalem?
took Jerusalem because they could,
They took that Jerusalem, my guy.
And basically, the Mamelukes were like, "Yo, how about we align with the Crusaders? Yeah, you guys want to be allies?" And the Crusaders were like, "You are infidels. No.
You are Muslims.
Also, you
Get
guys
away
took
from
Jerusalem, and we kind of want that.
We kind of don't.
Maybe if you didn't take Jerusalem, we'll talk about it. But the thing is, you don't want to give us Jerusalem. So they decided to poison every water hole, kill or get rid of, or remove every animal, and cut down every tree on the way that was leading to Jerusalem because they wanted to starve the living crap out of the Crusaders in hopes that they don't take Jerusalem.
Now
we're gonna see that it completely failed. The Crusaders, what they would do, I remember correctly, basically they would send in reinforcements with ships, right?
Yep.
And then the Egyptians like, haha, funny, we're going to encircle you with our own navy. So the Crusaders decided, okay, I'll just make these ships into lumber and we'll carry it to the Crusaders. And it's like, no, you weren't supposed to do that.
Hacks.
And then they made these boats into 2 siege towers.
Yeah.
Because they were pretty epic, which were basically just really, really awesome ladders.
Yeah, they were like giant ladders that were covered so you wouldn't get shot.
So eventually, once they made it to Jerusalem, all the Crusaders fell to their knees and started praying for like a day because God wills it.
Jesus.
After that, they would then proceed to move one of the siege tower to a new location because in the night because that surprised them.
Ooh.
They pulled a sneaky on them.
Surprise.
And then they went out and they went in and they may have caused a slight massacre.
Only a little. The numbers were exaggerated.
Yeah, to be fair though, this was not unheard of for medieval times. Like, this is about what you'd expect for conquering a city that resisted heavily.
Yeah, that is true.
Yes, you won. Ha ha ha. Anyways.
We gotta get on with the other ones, man. We're 17
Yeah, I know.
in.
The first Crusade's just epic, though, to be fair, though.
It was. And then the second one wasn't.
Basically, finishing it off, the Kingdom of Jerusalem would be established, as well as the other 3, Edessa, Tripoli, and
Antioch,
yeah. They'd all be established because they were all Crusader states. Now, the Crusaders were content. The Egyptians tried counterattacking, failed. Again.
Yeah, because they're bad.
4 weeks later. And the Crusaders had Jerusalem. They were happy.
Yes, they did.
Eventually, Edessa. The Crusader state of Edessa would be taken by the Muslims. And the Crusaders were like, yo, not cool. And Pope Urban III, I think it was.
Nope. That would be Eugenius III.
Oh, Eugenius.
Eugenius III.
I forgot Urban III is next.
No, that's Gregory the 8th.
I don't know popes. I'm sorry. I
wrote them down, man. I'm smirchness.
I can't be bothered to learn.
I wrote down the popes that called the Crusades. Yeah, the second one was Eugenius III.
Yeah, because actually, honestly enough, the second Pope Urban II died before he learned that Jerusalem was captured.
Yeah,
in like 2 weeks. Like, it was really disappointing.
He was a very dead boy.
Yeah, but anyways, that Crusaders got conquered, and the Pope was like, "Yo, we need that back."
Yeah.
Which makes sense, I guess. The problem is this is when the Muslims were extremely expecting this because they don't have surprise anymore.
Yeah, that's
because they did this last time.
You just did this. We know what's coming.
And the Muslims destroyed them, and it was so bad that Jerusalem was taken this time. I think both.
No, are you sure?
Jerusalem was taken during the Second Crusade.
Are you sure it wasn't during the Third?
No, Third Crusade was declared because Jerusalem fell.
Oh.
I think so. I want to say I don't know if Triple T was still around or not, but I know the other one, Antioch, was still around.
Antioch?
Yeah, that one survived. That survived after the Second Crusade.
Edessa was completely destroyed, though.
Yeah, no, I know that one was destroyed.
And then
Triple, I don't remember if it was.
For some reason, they had a siege of Damascus, which failed.
Yeah,
because they were bad.
Damascus actually is a fairly, believe it or not, actually has some importance to Christendom. It's been a while since they've owned it.
Yeah. Also, the Byzantines and the Crusaders hated each other a little more after this one.
Yeah, because of disagreements.
Yeah.
Especially, the old, taking, like when Crusaders say wasn't exactly happy with them at the start, and they kind of just, this is slightly lead towards the Fourth Crusade, but we're not talking about the Fourth Crusade because the Fourth Crusade sucks.
But better thing, Knights Templar was founded.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Second Crusade has got something going.
I like those guys.
Basically, yeah, no, Second Crusade failed just because of disagreement. Just by the way, just to show you the importance of the Damascus Christendom, the five cities of Christendom were basically Rome, obviously, Alexandria, Damascus, Rome, and Constantinople.
Oh, you already said Rome.
Oh, I'm forgetting one then.
You might have said Rome twice. You mean Vatican?
No,
wait, no.
Rome
Vatican.
is the Vatican.
Shut up.
I might be forgetting one. Damascus is on the list.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerusalem.
Oh,
freaking Jerusalem.
Oh,
duh.
wonder.
I hate my life.
You're bad.
Surprisingly, Bethlehem's not on that list. You'd think it would be.
Yeah, weird.
Basically, that's the little important thing. Yeah, the Second Crusade failed. They only had one Crusader saved left after this.
Yeah, real shame.
Now, they were Deus vote spamming so hard by this point.
Oh, yeah.
Third Crusade was the most motivated of all the three.
Oh, yeah, they were, like, super into it.
So, basically, what happened was, the Holy Roman Emperor would I don't remember if he himself would, but definitely a lot of his subjects would go on the Crusade.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he tried to, and then he died.
Yeah,
on the way.
So he's the one that died on the way.
Yeah, it was like Frederick the First,
as well as Henry the Second. I want to say, who's the one in Church of England, died right before he got a chance to go on the Crusade.
Oof, ouch.
And then it was Richard the Lionheart, as well as King Philip II of France would both go together on the Crusade, even though they were both at war before this.
Yeah, and then they went together and captured Acre.
Yeah, because they were pretty cool.
And then there was this other dude. I think he was I forget what he was the king of. But King Guy. He might have been in France as well, because Guy is a pretty common name in France.
Yeah.
But
you know that guy.
He got roasted in battle by Saladin, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was Saladin that roasted him.
Saladin.
Yeah, he like came out of a city with like a really big army to go and fight Saladin, and then he surrounded him and then roasted him.
That reminds me, Godfrey was the guy that was king of Jerusalem, by the way. The Prince of Jerusalem, he was king of Jerusalem, the kingdom of Jerusalem, by the way. He was released during the Third Crusade. I was trying to...
It was
like a bargain ship. It's like, yo, we'll give you Godfrey if you guys screw off. And then like, yay, you're not gonna...
I thought Baldwin was already king of Jerusalem at this point. Because Godfrey died of something, and then Baldwin was put in charge.
Oh, it might have been Baldwin. Yeah, it might have been Baldwin.
And
then, basically,
Baldwin got captured.
Yeah, he got captured. He was eventually released, and he's like, yo, promise you will not go on this crusade. And then he did it anyways.
Yeah.
Because he wants Jerusalem back.
I'm pretty sure he died, and like his son, Alamark, took over.
Yeah.
And then they started fighting Egypt or something.
Which is really unfortunate, because the Third Crusade would be wrapped up eventually, even though just the amount of effort. They won some pretty good battles there, just they couldn't beat Saladin because he was pretty freaking good.
Saladin was like roasting him, and the Muslims were pretty united
they
with
gave
this.
up too early, though, because, believe it or not, Saladin was not going to last much longer after the Third Crusade.
Yeah.
He died not too long. And then they had this is where the Fourth Crusade was called, and they had a pretty good freaking opportunity because Saladin was dead, and of course they're not going to have any competent leadership after that guy dies.
Yeah, no, and then
they didn't.
Then they attacked Constantinople.
Yay, lovely.
And I are sad boy.
And that's where we're going to leave that one off because...
Yeah, nobody likes talking about
now,
that one.
we're done with the two important crusades.
Let's move on to the other crusades that sucked.
The Fifth Crusade.
That was Innocent the Third.
Yeah. I can't say much about the First Crusade just because it wasn't really much other than the fact they lost more battles.
Well, actually, there was cooperation between Hungary and Austria, and they took armies to go. I think those are like the main two countries that went is Austria and Hungary.
Yeah, because, the Austria...
So,
I think they're the personal unit at this point in time.
A little prelude to what's going to happen later with
I forgot to mention one other thing. By the Third Crusade, all the Crusader states fell. I think at that point.
No, I don't think they were fielding any more guys.
I think I want to say the Third Crusader state was. I think the last Crusader state fell by the Third Crusade.
Maybe.
I don't think. I think it fell by that point.
Astronaut?
Yeah, I think it fell by that point.
It's possible.
Anyways, the Sixth Crusade. It's like one of those. I kind of like this crusade from one aspect, but then it's not great because of another aspect. So basically, the Pope called the Sixth Crusade. It was by the it was
no. Seventh Crusade was the one that Louis the Ninth called. No. The Sixth Crusade was Gregory the Ninth.
It was. I thought it was the Holy Roman Emperor called the Sixth Crusade. I remember correctly. It was,
No. He was a big part of it, I think. Frederick II.
Yeah, he basically negotiated Jerusalem.
Yeah.
It's built the Holy Land. It's like, yo, give us the Holy Land. We'll give you large amounts of money.
Yeah.
And the Muslims like, oh, that's so profitable.
Money!
Deal! And then the Holy Roman Emperor was so happy. He was celebrated all across Europe. And then the Muslims were like, joke's on you. You have no point. You have nothing stopping us from just taking it back.
Yeah.
And extorting every little thing you put in there.
That's sad.
That was like...
No, I don't think it was the Muslims. I got it was the Khwarezmians that took Jerusalem.
Oh, it might have been. It was some kind of Muslim group.
Like the big Muslim group sold it to
yeah, the Holy Roman Emperor.
And then the Khwarezms came from the east, and they're like, "Ha! Yoink! Give me your cities."
Yeah, it was sad. It was one of the jerkest moves in history right there.
Oh no! Actually, more unfortunate stuff happened to Frederick because he went to war with the Europeans.
Yeah,
because they were like, he was he's in the east, which means he must be an infidel.
yeah, that was the right thing.
And so there was the War of the Lombards, which was Frederick, Tyre, which is a city, the Hospitallers, which are in Crusader order, the Teutonic Knights, and Pisa versus the Iberians, Acre, the Templars, and Genoa. And Genoa is a place in Italy.
Yeah, it's in
and then Acre is a city in. Do you know what the Iberians are?
The Billions?
Iberians.
No, actually.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Basically,
crazy stuff.
Yeah, basically the whole purging Jerusalem thing does not work out for the Holy Romans in the slightest.
Yeah, the Iberian Acre Templar Genoa group ended up whooping on them, and they took Tyre, and so Frederick lost.
Not my Tyre.
Yes, that Tyre. So Frederick lost, and it was sad.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Then the next Crusades were like the other Crusades, that just actually attacking for the Holy Land.
Yeah.
And once again, they failed.
Actually, the Seventh Crusade, they fought the Mongols.
Yeah, because the Mongols were actually in
the Holy Land.
Yeah. No, basically, they actually didn't take much from the Byzantines because the Mongols were basically at the end of their conquest at that point.
Yeah.
But of course, the Seljuks were still there, and they basically got conquered by the Mongols. And of course, you're going to crusade against the Mongols because once again, they still want the Holy Land, and the Mongols are in the way.
That was there was actually no pope that called for the Seventh Crusade. That was just Louis the IX, who's like, "Hey guys, let's just go.
I don't kind of want these Mongols on our border.
I don't like them being there. Let's go destroy them."
Yeah, that was dealt with because
And then the Eighth Crusade was I think Louis's brother.
Oh shoot! We gotta make this go quick. We have 3 minutes. We have 2 minutes left.
Sure, Louis's brother just made him go attack a second time.
Yeah.
And so that was the Eighth Crusade, and they went to attack like Tunis, and then they lost.
The Ninth Crusade.
The Ninth Crusade was just Prince Edward running over there and negotiating a truce, and that was it.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Now, time to talk about the last two types of crusades, which weren't technically were labeled as one of the crusades, but they were crusades nonetheless. The first one being the Reconquistador, also known as kicking the Muslims out of Iberia.
Yeah.
Which basically saw Granada as the last the last Muslims in basically Spain and Portugal, that whole region, get kicked out because, put simply, we can't have any Muslims in Iberia.
Nobody likes them there anymore.
And basically, they were hardcore converted to Christianity, and that's why we saw the Spanish Inquisition. After all, it was pretty surprising, is all I have to say.
I like that Spanish Inquisition.
That's why the New World was harshly converted to Catholicism in the New World. Anyways, continuing on, we then see the other crusade, which was the crusade in the Baltic, to get rid of the last pagans in Europe. Which were basically, where the Baltics are, basically the 3 countries of Lithuania, which actually was Christian, by the way.
Yeah.
They converted to Catholic, and they eventually became the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. And then Latvia and Estonia, those regions, they very much were pagan. And the Teutonic Order was like, we can fix that.
If you give us a bit of money, we can fix it.
Yeah, basically, Prussia, hilariously enough, used to be a nation that was like a pagan nation as well. The languages are connected to the 2 other Baltic nations. And basically, they decided that Teutonic Order wanted to destroy the Prussians because can't have pagans. And then eventually, because the Prussian refers to a region, like, let's call ourselves the Prussians eventually. When they kind of with Bavaria.
And then they got destroyed by
Poland, Lithuanians a few times.
Yeah.
And then they come back and
actually they got destroyed by like a coalition.
Yeah. And then eventually the Teutonic Order had their revenge as Prussia and completely wipe Poland off the map.
Nice.
And get wrecked, scrub. And we're 30 minutes, so, like in 20 seconds, which is I'm actually cutting part of this out, so I think we should be fine.
Sweet, let's go.
So you actually made it roughly in time.
Awesome, we actually made one on time.
Anyways, I don't know what the next episode's gonna be, to be honest with you guys.
We'll figure something out.
I think we probably will do a new segment soon.
Cool.
But don't worry, you guys get your more podcasts eventually. Anyways, I've been your host, Andrew.
And I'm the other host, James.
You try to rank yourself up there?
What are you talking about?
No, co-host James?
No, I'm the other host.
Hey. Well, anyways, that's been this episode of Tweedle Time. Check out our other episodes, I guess, if you want more content.
More shameless plugging. I'll see you around.
I recommend the Byzantine episode because Byzantines are awesome. And they didn't get... And you can look at the Byzantines before they were destroyed by the Crusades.
Yeah.
And also, I've got more information on the Fourth Crusade video. The first one. I'd be quite surprised if you found this video and didn't also watch that one, to be fair.
Yeah, same here.
Well, anyways, that's this episode. See you guys.